episode that we're bringing to you. And we also have
BC in the place to be. How y'all doing out there?
hopefully everyone is doing good, even though, it's been a rough year and a half for a lot of families out there.
Wow.
But, we're all are praying and trying to, keep positive vibes and encourage one another. So,
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. We were at a funeral today, Lady Shireen.
yes, we was.
One of our beloved Plainfield Knights, Bilal, passed away, and we had the honor and the privilege of being able to serve his family and the community by providing our technical assistance.
Yes.
I was able to put together the video presentation, which they loved, and
Yeah, it was awesome.
you were able to stream it. Is that right, Lady Shireen?
Yes, I did today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And had a lot of likes on there, a lot of love.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also lost another young man just 2 days ago, right? Right from the city of Plainfield.
I think I heard about it.
Yeah. So we're sending our love and our blessings out there to all those individuals that are going through times and tribulations, or trials and tribulations, and just telling you to keep your blessings and keep yourself cloaked so that you can be blessed.
That's it.
And have favor in your life. And sometimes I know it's hard when you lose somebody.
Yes,
but,
definitely hard.
I often say to people around me that I'm probably closer to the end than I am the beginning. I don't think I'm going to be Moses. I don't think I'm going to live 400 plus years.
Wow.
What about you, Lady Shireen? How's everything going with you?
Everything is pretty good. A little tired, been doing a lot of work, but, not complaining because God has been awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything is going pretty good.
Yeah. I understand your weekend was full of some activities.
Yes, it definitely was.
What did
full.
you do this weekend? I think you had a video shoot, correct?
I had a wedding yesterday.
Wow.
And I had to go to Brooklyn, so I was there all day. So that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And when you're doing stuff like that, and you're the editor as well, your job is not done when the wedding and the reception is over. You still have to work. So,
Last night I was up into the wee hours of the morning, and if I feel like I got a little jet lag, it isn't because I've been flying, but I've been flying. I mean, I've been doing a lot, whether it's been in the landscaping arena or I've been basically working along putting that video together. And for all those video editors out there, listen, you got my love, you got my passion, and you got my blessings, because
Okay.
that editing is no joke.
It's no joke. It's very tedious, right?
Yeah, I think I put together like a 6 minute, almost a 7 minute video. And when I tell you I was out editing all night and all day, I was editing all night and all day. But
Yeah,
the beauty
that's what
of
it
that,
takes.
the beauty of that is that it was a learning process, because I've always done editing, but I just went back into doing the things that you've been encouraging me to do, Lady Shireen.
See, there you go. See,
Yeah.
I'm rubbing off on you.
Yeah,
That's
you're
awesome.
rubbing off. You're saying get back at it.
That's it. Come on, get in, jump back in.
Last weekend, me and my nephew. Hey, Marquise, how you doing out there, Marquise?
I'm good.
All right, and his brother and his friend. We went to a car show last week, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
The Gigi Brown car show was out in South Plainfield, Edison.
Okay. How was
Yeah.
the car show?
Marquise, how was the car show?
It was good.
It was good.
Awesome.
Marquise is actually doing our switching tonight. Him and Dominique, they switch from time to time. So just for you to know out there, you are listening to
Yeah, absolutely.
the 4E,
Podcast,
where we talk about
education,
entertainment
enlightenment.
and empowerment.
That's it.
So we bring it to you, and we have, thanks to Donnie, you have actually put together our Cash App.
Yeah.
All right, and it is $ capital T HE
Trying to remember it.
for podcast, for E podcast. So we want you to go out there, and if you're loving what you're hearing, we want you to be able to go ahead and like us,
Like us, share,
share us, tag us,
send us some comments.
send us some comments. And in addition to that, if you want to make a contribution, because the lights, the energy, and the efforts that we put into this podcast have all been coming out of our own free will and spirit, and we would love for you guys to go out there and be able to contribute. Again, it's $ capital T H E, the H and the E are lowercase, 4E podcast. You can go up there and you can actually send us some Cash App if you like us, and send us some love, and we will definitely use the money to continue to grow our podcast. So, Lady Shereen, this is, I believe, our 18th episode.
I think so. Not sure.
All right.
But I think so.
Okay.
And tonight we have a guest coming in.
Yeah, Mr. Keith Powell.
Yeah, so
actually, he's a reverend.
Yeah, so he's going to be coming in tonight. So tune in.
He'll be here momentarily.
Yes.
Just because of technology, you know, sometimes you send things and for whatever reason they don't get there.
You thought you sent
you thought you sent it.
And it didn't go.
Yeah, and it didn't go. But he's going to be stepping into the scene real shortly. But while we're at it, we want to know how y'all doing out there. So, Lady Shereen, you got anybody up on the internet right now?
It looks like it says 2.
Okay.
I don't know, but we had I don't know if she's still on, but we have Deborah Osborne. If she's still watching, hey Ma, how are you? And then we have our Daniel Heavens. He's watching, and Scott Blackman. Hello. And if you're on Instagram, I cannot see who's watching. So if you're watching, thank you so much. If you come on and watch this later, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time out to support us, and we thank you and we appreciate you.
All right, so. Over the weekend, there was some interesting things that happened at the Olympics last week. Our star gymnast, I heard today that last week she said that she didn't know if she was going to compete anymore. I think now today she reported that she is going to compete on the uneven bars, I think, open competition.
That's awesome.
So I think she's going to do that. And I've seen some of our other females. I see that Puerto Rico for the second time, actually won a gold medal.
Okay.
Yeah, one of their female.
Second time, that's awesome.
Yeah, actually won. And Puerto Rico actually competes as not a part of the United States. They compete as their own country.
Exactly.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things going on out there. And then our swim team, the ladies swim team's just been phenomenal.
Oh, wow. I have not caught the swim team.
The swim team has been phenomenal.
Okay.
And now you got track and field going on. And with the track and field, there was that incident where one of the athletes actually tripped over another athlete.
Oh, wow.
And the athlete that actually tripped was an American, but I don't think he was the cause. I think he just was the effect.
Okay.
But the Olympic trial committee said that the Olympic committee actually said that they're going to put him forward. So he's going to be able to compete in the finalists. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, the men's basketball team, I think, is winning. The ladies basketball team, I think they still are undefeated. So they're doing their thing. So listen, I've not been able to tune into the Olympics like I wanted to because I've been editing.
You be editing.
I've been editing. Lady Shereen, I said to Lady Shereen, you didn't, because it took me back because it's been a while since I've done it. And I said, man, you didn't tell me I was going to spend all these hours. She said, Brian, I told you.
Absolutely. Listen, and you're saying 6 minutes,
and
it was just pictures, right?
A couple of videos, but the videos was easy because it was at the front end.
Okay,
they weren't intertwined. If you start putting videos intertwined with pictures, and then we didn't even have to do any music underlay.
Okay,
and then you start doing music underlay.
Have any dialogue. So now if you want, I can start throwing you some of the stuff I have. And then you can edit and help me edit. But it's hours of video.
Yeah, I thought you said hours as in O-U-R-S. You talk about H-O-U-R-S.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
dialogue,
Donnie's back there,
and music.
And Marquise is back there.
I will throw you some work.
Listen, Lady Shereen, we can get them to start learning how to edit, and we already teaching them all the things about photography and videography and lighting and audio and stuff like that. Matter of fact, last weekend when I was at the car show, I actually had Marquise. He was actually I was showing him how to do certain things live as opposed to in the studio.
So what did you do you didn't tell us what did you do at the car show?
I brought out an awesome sound system. Sound system. That system was blaring.
Oh wow.
And
is this a new system?
Well, I went out and spent a little under $3,000 on speakers. But
Amazing.
there's some JBL speakers. They're self-powered. I don't have to bring out the amp rack.
Okay.
And it just allowed me to just travel lighter, but be more ready.
Okay.
I didn't have to do all of that amp hooking up.
So this is self-powered, you're saying.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about all the.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is self-powered stuff. But listen,
Okay.
the opportunity to be out there in front of people, giving good quality sound and doing the things that I did was good. Marquise, did we have a good time?
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, come on, get him.
So,
Our guest is here.
so my
Get 'em.
question to you real quick is,
Yeah.
somebody may not know what self-powered speakers are. So
Self-powered
what is
speakers
that?
means that they actually are building technology now where they put the amp inside of the speaker with all of the gadgetry,
Okay.
the circuitry.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
don't have to sit there and you don't have to EQ and all the rest of that.
Gotcha.
It looks like our guest just got here.
All right. Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah, so just come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
And then while he's doing that, I see some more people that's popped on. So I see my sister Kanisha. Hey, Nisha.
Hey, Nisha.
Kasai. I don't know if they're still on, but Kasai and Leslie Osborne. Hey, my other dad. Hey, how you doing?
All right. Okay, come on.
Here we go. Here we
So
go.
here we go. All right, so our switch is going to switch over to me, and we're going to get ready to take it live in a few more minutes with actually bringing our guests on.
Yes.
So we're actually already live. And again, you're listening to the 4E podcast where we
Yes.
talk about education,
Entertainment.
empowerment,
Enlightenment.
and we have an enlightened, an empowered, and an entertaining individual here with us tonight. And he is no other than Keith Powell. How are you doing there, Keith Powell?
Man, I'm doing good, but you
Awesome.
used a few adjectives that are way above me, man. I'm just a...
Now, I've seen your work. I've seen, as the kids say today, I've seen your footwork. All right, and your footwork isn't necessarily because you're moving your feet, but it's because you're moving and shaking, and you're doing things, and you're creating, and you're allowing the universe to just keep rolling over. You're empowering. You actually have a church that's down in Middlesex. Is that correct?
That would be correct.
All right.
Family
Okay,
of Christ Life Center.
All right, and if individuals want to join you, how do they get there, and what do they do, and what time do you worship?
Well, let's see.
And is his audio fine? Because he can move up to the mic a little bit more, right? Let's try that. There you go. I just want to make sure that we don't have any problems with your audio being captured. Okay. So go ahead. Talk about what people can do in reference to coming to see you.
Well, Family of Christ Life Center is a church or a ministry that's been in existence for almost 21 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, we started right here, Plainfield, New Jersey,
Okay.
on East 7th Street.
East 7th
And,
Street.
basically, we focus on winning souls, restoring families,
That's what it's about.
developing leaders, and activating ministries.
Awesome.
Very young church. Average age is about 28 years old.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Lot of fun.
But I can tell you
Okay.
that your music ministry is second to none. They put it
Well,
down.
thanks to you.
They put it down. They put it down.
That's why he mentioning it.
Yeah.
'Cause he got
Thanks
something
to
do
him.
with it.
Lady Shireen, now you know the Church of the Living God. You know how y'all be
Hey.
yeah, you know how you be giving that praise.
Yes,
I almost said
sir.
partying because it almost is like a worship party. But I'm
it.
telling you, if y'all two church got together, and I was thinking about this, I said maybe we should do
Okay.
a little.
Got Pastor Wyatt.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I used to preach over there.
Okay, see?
I've
See,
preached
Lady
over
Shireen,
there.
I tell you that everybody comes to
It's
your
been a
church.
while. I
Yeah,
probably
okay.
haven't preached over there in probably 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But
okay.
yeah, I used to preach for Pastor
Yeah, and
Wyatt.
Donnie goes there.
Every year we used to come.
Okay.
Donnie goes there.
Okay.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And he actually helps Shireen with the camera work.
Oh, okay.
And the audio and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're bringing them up because you taught me that. You got to bring them up. So let's get into it. All right. So you're gonna ask, how do we know each other, right? Because it's always how do individuals get to know each other, and then how do they get onto our podcast, and what do they do? So way back when,
Way back.
Way back, they said.
before I became a groove, you
Before
actually played-
y'all were born.
before y'all was born.
Okay.
Yeah, probably before some of our listening audience was born. We actually pledged the organization called Groove for Groove Social Fellowship Incorporated. And it just so happened that he lived down the street from my mom's house on Putnam Avenue,
Putnam Avenue.
in Plainfield.
Yeah.
And one day he was out there doing some garden or doing some yard work or walking. He was doing something, and somehow I just went up there and said, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the neighborhood." And then he told me a little bit about himself, and one thing led to another. And anyway, to make a long story short, that's how we made a connection. That was our initial connection. Now, lo and behold, outside of all of that, he was dealing with a company that I actually, when I got into my house, I refinanced my mortgage.
Okay.
And one of the mentees that he mentored, moving and shaking again, I told you, seeing his footwork, right, actually worked underneath his umbrella.
Okay.
And he actually, at that point, that's when the economy was going like this. And everybody was refinancing. People
Oh
was
yeah,
getting,
those were the days.
yeah, you want to talk a little bit about those days?
Yeah, those were the days. That's when I had a little money.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
get out of here. A little bit
No,
of money.
hey, look, that was back in the
He
day.
rides around on a bicycle and you talking about he got a little bit of money.
Yeah.
I seen the bicycle he got. It got a motor on it. No.
Listen.
Go ahead. I'm only messing with you. He doesn't actually ride around on the
I
bike.
had
But
the
go ahead.
privilege of working in the mortgage business for many years.
Okay.
Had a great mentor, Stuart Cundiff.
Wow.
And he really taught me the business. And we helped a lot of people. We had a credit repair
Okay.
aspect to that. We purchased property and
That's right. Okay.
built up people's credit and got them in the homes. You know, so it was really good. It was a good turnaround.
But that isn't way behind you. I mean, you're not doing that as a primary source of income now, but you still have helped individuals.
Yeah, I'm not in business
Okay.
anymore, but
The knowledge is still there.
we still help people. We still work very hard to encourage people that want to own
Okay.
to own.
Okay.
We still show them how to get their credit together, how to save money, how to buy property.
Okay.
How
So
to
if,
get
so if
in the
someone wants to
business.
do that now and want to contact you, is that something you would do?
They can call me at 908-405-9844.
Just
908-405-9844.
Okay.
And all that advice is free.
All right, but
Awesome.
through your ministry, you've been able to help individuals grow. You've been able to help families
Yeah.
find a home, not just an apartment, a home.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah. Well, in ministry, and that's just serving. Y'all know all about that. You know, you just try to help people meet the need,
Yes.
whatever it is that they want. We focus a lot on restoring families. Everybody has something in their life that's
Right.
broken,
That's true.
something that needs curing, something that needs restoration, and we just work with them until that happens.
Okay.
You know, and so that's just at the core nature of what we do. You know, in our ministry, we work with people.
Awesome.
You see, we're more. We grow our church out as opposed to up.
Okay.
We believe in decentralization. We believe that's what Jesus did. He spread out. He went into the boardrooms. He went into the streets. So we have strong relationships in our communities where we're working with a lot of people like that.
And one of the things that I need to say is it's definitely about God, but he also understands that the humanistic individual has to be fed. So before you go to service on Sundays, and he has an afternoon service at what time does that start?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Okay.
All right, and he'll give you the address before we get off the air. But in addition to that, you have actually gone into the prisons.
Yeah. What we do, the reason why we start at 1 o'clock is because we go out into the world every Sunday. We go on other days too.
That's great.
But we go to nursing homes, halfway houses, prisons. We do that on Sunday morning. And then when we come to church at 1 o'clock, we
Okay.
got something to celebrate, you see. So we put the mission first
Okay.
and the rejoicing second.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's all about.
That's what it's about.
Winning souls, encouraging people, because especially in today's time, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people are losing the hope. A lot of people,
Oh, yeah.
are
Yeah.
about to, give in and throw in the towel. And, it doesn't matter, who you are. People are going through a lot of different things in today's time.
And
So,
today, even in the Olympics now,
yeah,
they're talking about mental health.
exactly.
They didn't talk about mental health before.
That's right.
So when you start talking about restoring individuals, you're talking about things that are underneath your umbrella, but things that you actually do to make sure that your fellow man or sister don't go without having the things that they need in order to cope in this world.
Yeah,
Because
and
this
it's
world can be
important.
very trying.
Yes,
You know,
it's very
at
important.
times you could be like, you know, I got a call the other day, and I'm not going to share exactly what it was about. But I mean, it was one of them calls that you were like, what in the heck? And I mean, my whole world had to just stop right then.
Right.
And I had to leave.
Right.
And I left where I was working, and I had to go take care of some matters. It involved me having to get in contact with some professionals a little above my pay scale, but they were able to bring it back because
Right.
sometimes what we often think about as human beings, we often think that we have all the answers to everything. We don't.
Right.
Right.
No, we
And we're going to go to that because you know I'm getting ready to jump with that.
Go.
It's called the two rule. It's the two rule principle. So I told Lady Shreen we were going to talk about that a little bit. So talk about the two rule principle.
Well, I believe it's a principle of life that you have to have somebody over you and above you.
Okay.
I mean, just imagine a child is born. If there's
Okay.
nobody over them and above them, then they can't live.
Right.
And so a lot of times because of our rebellion, when we grow up, we don't want to listen to anybody.
This
And
is
the
true.
more you don't listen, the slower your development is.
Wow.
Yeah, so we work with that strongly, you know, covering people and really understanding that all that I know is not all there is to know.
Right. Okay.
See,
That's
so I might know a lot about this, but I got to listen to you because you know a lot about that.
Right.
I got to listen to Brian because he knows a lot about that. We got to listen to each other.
That's right.
You know, but if we do not walk, you know, in that, knowing that we've come this far because somebody helped us get here. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we try to do.
Yeah, so in that two rule principle, I just want to indulge a little more of your time on that subject. You're really talking about mentoring. You're really talking about modeling. You really talk about changing an individual's thought pattern in reference to what they can and can overcome and become. Because a lot of times what happens is people think that, oh man, I just got this apartment with a car that's barely making it. That's all I know. No,
Right.
there's more to life than that.
Yes.
If you want a house through the things that you have done in your past, through other mentors, find somebody that is above what you know.
Right.
If you want to proceed, if you listen, here we go. I'm gonna give you the above rule right here, principle right here in the studio. I don't know all about all of this stuff in the background. You know, I had to go to Shireen. She is that above me person when it comes to the hooking up.
You're learning something here.
Yeah. But now here goes the other side of that. I know a little bit more about audio.
Sure does.
So Shireen has to come to me, and so in order for her to jump, she has to be willing to listen, be at a point of listening, so that she can learn.
That's right.
And I'm not going to share who it is, but we actually have a person in common that we're working on right now with that
Right
bull.
now, right
That bull. With that bull. You know, we're working on that individual because we believe that this individual is so smart that if he took an IQ test, I'm pretty sure he will knock it out the park.
Wow. Okay.
I'm pretty sure he'll knock it out the
Okay.
park. But there's some challenges that he just can't overcome because he's in the midst of being amongst others that are not helping him grow.
Okay.
So when you talk about church, I got it. You go to church so that you can get that spiritual uplifting, so that you can raise yourself to a higher level. You could do it at home if you want to read the Bible and just think
Right.
that. But whenever is it 2 or more are present? All right, I'm preaching. Go ahead,
preach.
Go ahead, Sheree. Go ahead, Sheree. No.
The first part.
There I am. Right.
God is in the midst.
That's right.
Right.
That, when I say there I am, I am. I am is God. I am is God. So I mean, not there I am, but
You got the A part.
So
We got the B part.
So go ahead, finish it.
God is in the midst.
God is in the midst. All right. So if you want to get above and overcome some of your shortcomings, you have to give it to somebody greater than yourself.
You have to.
And that greater than yourself, you can find individuals to help you get to that next level here on earth. Ultimately, you got to give it to him, God, but you can definitely find individuals on earth that can help you move to the next level.
Right.
I think sometimes people think that staying with the same people doing the same thing and not getting different results
Wow.
is not insanity. But that is the exact definition of
Well, see,
insanity.
Wow.
I'll throw this in.
Go ahead, throw it in.
Okay.
Preach
A
on.
lot of people talk about God, talk about Jesus, talk about the Holy Spirit,
Yes.
but this is what they miss.
Okay.
God put a self-imposed limitation on himself when it came to earth.
Okay.
So nobody can say they know God without working through a person.
Right.
Because
Wait, come on, slow that down, rewind that a little bit. Listen to the audience that's out there. Watch this. There's a lesson in this.
I'll do this. I'm hungry. I'm homeless. I'm starving. I need food.
Right.
Yes.
Father, in the name of Jesus, I'm hungry. I need food.
Right.
Where's the food at?
Exactly.
He's gonna send a person.
Right.
God don't eat food. He's not gonna cook me no fish and eggs.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And so
Yeah.
a lot of people over spiritualize God in a way that it's just not correct. So if we don't learn to connect with people, you're not gonna find God. Jesus is in heaven.
Yes.
Well, I saw Jesus last night. No, you didn't. Jesus left a long time ago. He's coming back. He sent the Holy Spirit who works through people.
Right.
So
So you're saying that.
that's that over and above.
Okay. Give it to him a little more simplistic now.
Oh, I thought that was pretty
No,
simplistic.
that's very simplistic. But I want you to break it down to the lowest compound. Meaning that if you are seeking knowledge, you have to find individuals that have wisdom.
If you are seeking God,
Right.
Okay.
everything comes down to people
Yes, sir.
as it pertains to earth, not heaven.
Okay.
There's
Right.
angelic beings in heaven. But if you're on the earth, you have to put on a body. That makes you human.
Right.
You see? And these are the only hands from you, from me, that are going to help you. So at
That's right.
some point, prayer has to lead you to a person
Right.
if there's some help that you need. Or, watch this, if I'm going to help somebody,
Yes, sir.
who am I going to help? The air?
Right. Right.
You understand what I mean? So, we're praying for people, but we're not giving them any food.
That's it. And also, you have to be in tune, to hear God's voice to say, hey, bless him with some food, and then that's when that bag of food come. You heard him like, you know what, let me go buy so-and-so some food and put it on the step. And you don't have to even let them know that you did it. Ring the doorbell, drop it off, you out.
Now you don't.
Your prayer been answered.
You know what I'm going to say. You know I'm coming back with that. I want to teach a man how to fish so he can eat for a lifetime, than to provide him fish for one day.
Absolutely.
That's what I do. You know that's my calling, Lady
Absolutely.
Shereen. And you know, pal, that this is my calling. I always believe in trying to help the underdog. All right. But at some time, you got to push the underdog to become more than just the underdog. He's
Right.
got to know that he's got a risk in this game, and this game is about survival. Because I know I've helped so many individuals, and I'm not bragging on myself because it ain't about bragging.
Right,
It's
right.
what I'm called to do. That's what I want to do. And I said to myself the other day, I was talking to somebody, one of my partners, and I said, you know what? I got to stop stepping in the position of helping individuals figure out the shortcut. I'm the shortcut guy. If you got a puzzle and you got 1,000 pieces, and I know the answers to the puzzle, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna help you get to that 1,000 pieces faster than what you would get to it, right?
Okay.
But I gotta realize
Okay.
that sometimes it's not my position.
Right.
I gotta learn to sit back and USA
Right.
and let the cards fall where the cards will fall.
Okay.
Now I don't know how that fits in. You gotta help me with that. This
Well,
is going above. This is going above.
We need each other.
That's right.
Everybody has a lane. stay
That's
in
it.
your lane.
Yeah, stay in your lane. That's right.
And trust that somebody else. It's just like we work together. Hey, you stay in your lane, I stay in my
That's right.
lane, because I can't do what you do.
That's
and
right.
even
I can teach you.
but watch this. But watch this. Even if
Pay attention, Marcus.
Even if I learn what you learn,
That's right.
and I do it, it will never be to the same degree or measure, because nobody can do what somebody else does
Okay.
in the same degree and measure.
That's it.
Impossible.
Okay. That's
Can't
it.
do it.
So
Can't do it.
how do you this is a question that I think mankind has struggled with. At least I struggle with it. Maybe mankind doesn't struggle with. How do you get a person, and Shereen, maybe you can help me out with this too, to
Yeah, she'll go first on this question.
to achieve something that they don't even know that's in them?
I would say, you know, of course, you know, you can pray on it, ask God, you know, to lead you in that direction, you know, but sometimes you have to start doing different things to find out, you know, like a lot of people say, start with your passion. What are you passionate about?
No, this ain't about me. This is about me sometimes superimposing my will on trying to help somebody less fortunate than me
okay.
to get to the next level in life.
Okay.
It's because, listen, I struggle with enough of my struggles.
Okay.
But a lot of my struggles are found, I got a certain base.
Okay.
You know, I got a certain base. I started with a certain base, father, mother, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. And it just continues to show itself in my
Okay.
life.
Okay.
But there's some individuals that don't have that. They don't have that structure. They're two
Gotcha.
above two above.
Right,
they
right,
don't
right.
have that structure. They might have one. They might have a half a person. So what I'm saying to you is, how do you get to a place in their life that they don't even know they need to be at, but you see it because you see things. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm a.
Right,
I
gotcha.
see into the future.
Gotcha.
But I mean, the things, and Keith, you know, we talk about this, but Shereen's going to chime in a minute.
Gotcha.
You know that, you know, somebody came to me the other day. Actually, I went to dinner after I left, doing something for a very dear friend. I won't say who he is, but I left and I went to dinner with the guys, and the guys,
Secret
and
things going
the guys came in, and we were going out to dinner, and they came in. They said, "Man, you got a lot of trucks," but I wouldn't think anything less. You have a lot of trucks and you have a lot of
Right.
equipment. Well, I mean, all of that became because of the sacrifices that I've made.
Right.
So, but there's individuals that work for me in the past
Okay.
that
Come on.
can't see their way towards independent financial freedom.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
So have you?
And that's just one example, financial
Okay.
freedom. It could be going from a homeless situation to a
Right.
home situation.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, you know, have you talked to them to say, you know, sit them down and say, listen, you know, I want to show you how to do this, that, and the other, you know, because I think sometimes, you know, people actually just don't know, you know, and sometimes people don't want to ask, you know, so there's sometimes where, you know, maybe pull them aside and say, listen, you know, I want to show you some things, or, you know, how to have financial freedom. You know, one thing that a lot of people don't like and shun away from is budgeting. You know, budgeting. And
Say that word loud.
budgeting.
Yeah.
A lot of people shun away from that, but I had to do that one time.
Yeah.
You know, I literally.
You had to budget?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
I did.
my lady Shereen.
I had to budget, and you know what? I had to actually. My thing is this. You know, if you're trying to get somewhere, sometimes you have to pull back from the things that you know you do. You know, if it's excess stuff of coffee, getting your nails done, having the cable TV. Sometimes, you know what? It's fine. Cut it off. Cut it off until you get to a place where you want to be. Put that money somewhere else. Trust me, it helps. I had to do it. I definitely had to do it. You know, I remember a time where I cut the cable off, and I did it purposely. Cut it off and said it's a waste of money. And you know what? Don't laugh, because this is very ghetto. But
Wait, hold on. Not Lady Shereen.
don't laugh.
Lady Shereen, you on the 4E podcast. Ain't nothing get over on 4E podcast. Go ahead, Lady Shereen. Tell your story.
My kids were smaller.
Okay.
And this is a true story. No lie. Like I said, it's a little ghetto. But I believe you got to do what you got to do to get where you want to be, right?
Okay.
So I took a hanger, right? And you know, back then we didn't have it wasn't digital yet. It was still analog, right?
No, you are absolutely not that old. I don't even believe you now.
I don't believe she had a sample. I don't believe she had a sample in some TV that she had to punch on the side, hit on the top.
Let me.
With antennas up.
Listen, the little hole where the cable go, that little hole, and the little No, I got a safety pin, and I put the safety pin inside that little hole, and I put the safety pin through the. I put the hanger through the little circle.
This is how she learned electronics.
What? Let me tell you, that stuff was so clear.
You mean to tell me you had HDTV?
Back then.
I had channel 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 11. And let me tell you, listen, I had to do what I had to do to get where I wanted to be. So listen, you talking about finances? Yeah, I can tell you some stuff.
Well, I can tell you she's an author. So if you ever need anybody to come and talk at your book club, she's an author. She can actually attest that she has written a book about a tragedy that actually happened right on the street. That actually she didn't know. The neighbors didn't know how they were going to get out of there. Gotcha. What was the name of your book?
I was singing. The name of the book is "Don't Count Yourself Out."
Don't count yourself out.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So now you get a chance to reply. I know that we left. That was a long conversation ago.
No, I want her to write a book on that.
Which one? The TV antenna?
Yeah. That's the book I want to read.
Listen, that is some serious true stuff right there.
Okay, so how did you get to the other side? And what were you trying to do to get to the other side? What were you trying to save for?
So, for me, I was trying to get out of the financial, I would say, hole that I was in.
Gotcha.
My story, I was married at one point, separated. And so I was left with everything,
Gotcha.
Every bill that I had, I was left with, 2 kids. So I had to do everything. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm just that type of person. I'm not going to,
make it happen.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to make it happen.
Yeah, well, since you don't know her story, she is a person that went back to college.
Yes.
Got her associate's degree. Then went to finished at Montclair. Got her 4-year degree. So she's definitely, that's why she and I, we're not opposite. We attract each other because we understand the plight towards moving forward.
Yeah. I got laid off. I was working at the police department for about 10 years.
Wow.
And, they kept saying, we're going to do layoffs. And I had my plan. I said, if I get laid off, I'm going straight back to school. Going straight back. So that's what I did. But, I cut back on a lot of stuff. And sometimes what I would do is, if a bill, it depends on what bill it was, I would cut back on, maybe 50, 100, if I could, play around with it. Exactly. And I would pay somebody else, and I would do that until I actually caught everything up. Of course, God stepped in with a lot of stuff. I definitely have to mention him because he really made a lot of stuff happen. When you talk about favor, when your money run out and then favor carries you, oh yeah, I've been through that.
I think Reverend Powell, Keith Powell, you want to jump in on that favor and how that actually chimes into.
She said it all.
Oh, well, but listen, I'm trying to get you back in, man. I'm trying to put you back on.
How can I add to that? I can't do nothing with that, man.
Yeah, well,
what am I supposed to do with that? She wanted to get her budget together.
That's it.
She sacrificed her cable but improved her TV.
That's it. I had to do it a different way, but I got it.
She was an entrepreneur a long time ago.
She's got the stories of the entrepreneurship.
It's a great testimony of recovery.
So, what would you say would be one of the major things that individuals seek in trying to change their standing in their order in life? If an individual comes to you and they have hardships, what do you think is the one of the catalysts that causes them not to overcome some of the burdens that they feel are on their shoulder?
Well, I recently wrote 3 short books.
Okay.
All of them are about vision.
Okay.
Vision in the life of Moses.
Can we get a close up on that? We don't have a single shot on
Vision in the life of Jonah,
that. Okay.
and Vision in the life of Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
All of these are available
Go closer.
on Amazon. All of them. So
One more time,
You
we're
can
gonna
look at-
we're gonna try to zoom in on that.
Yeah, you can lift it up.
Okay,
there.
so you mentioned trying to.
He's good. He's good. He's good. Okay.
You mentioned trying to help someone see.
Right.
So they have a what? A vision problem.
Okay.
Right? Good.
They need eyeglasses.
So,
That was a joke. You're supposed to.
so, good, good. So now they got a
Go ahead.
they got a vision problem.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
sir.
So in my book on vision in the life of Moses, and again you can get it on Amazon. Put my name in there, Keith G. Powell. In the table of contents, in the third chapter, I write about the divine interruption
Okay.
All right.
because you can't see.
Right.
And God is the visionary. He's the one that made you. He's the one that gave you a purpose. The gifts that you had, He put them in there, but we can't see.
That's right.
So you have to allow God to interrupt your life. And then the next chapter talks about the turning point.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
You see that right there? The
The
turning
turning
point is when you change lanes
Okay.
and you begin to yield to the vision call of your own life.
Wow.
Excellent.
Everybody has one. God created them. You see, so a lot of times during life, you're operating in your gifts, talents, and abilities for the wrong purpose. You can't see. So you need that. You need that vision call, and then you can make that shift.
That's right.
But again, you need somebody over and above
Over
that can
and
help
above.
you understand
Okay.
until you grow up to a point where you can see clearly.
Wow.
Okay.
That's pretty deep. What does your second book touch upon?
The second one is Vision in the Life of Jonah. And this is probably my favorite book
Okay.
because it deals with the rejection of vision.
Okay.
Wow.
See, you were kind of talking about that earlier about trying to help people and the people don't want to help.
Right.
Because a lot of times we reject vision and then we have the spirit of escape on us.
Wow. Okay.
You see, so we just
Spirit of escape.
Spirit
I gotta
of-
use
we-
that.
we are-
I gotta use that one day.
Yeah.
You got the spirit of escape on you.
we run. You see, we run.
Right.
Daddy.
It's
We
true.
go in the opposite direction.
It's true.
And that's what we do. And then we experience the fruit of our bad decisions,
Right.
which impact others.
That's right. This is true.
So, hey, I mean, if I make bad decisions,
That's right.
whether I believe it or not, other people that are connected to me or depend upon me,
Affected.
it's going to affect them
That's
also.
right.
You see, so that's what that second prayer is about.
Okay.
And I mean, the second book, and then it ends up with recovery. That's one of my words, recovery.
Recovery.
Yeah, Jonah recovered.
That's right.
Wow.
You see, he
Ironic that we're talking about recovery, but go ahead, talk
yeah.
about it.
Well, that's what this book is about. But Jonah recovered,
Okay.
although he really never got himself together.
Right.
You see, so sometimes we do not ultimately fulfill our destiny.
Okay.
We may recover, but we may never make it back to a place of healing.
Gotcha.
You know, because some things you're just never gonna get back.
That's true. Very
But
true.
I think
That's true.
that if you push hard enough, you can overcome a lot of those obstacles that you can't. The scotomas, that's what they call them, the blinders. That you're riding down the street and you don't see that there's a car about to come and hit you because you just riding down the street and you're like that horse in New York City that's got the blinders on and you can't see outside of that vision, that tunnel vision.
I like
And,
that. I like that.
And in order for you to be able to do
Tunnel
that,
vision,
you
yeah.
you got to surround yourself with somebody that can open that perception up. I mean,
True.
I don't know why I'm in the position that I constantly push. Maybe I do know why. Why I constantly push and try to evolve. I try to get things accomplished that others don't see that they can accomplish. You know, I mean, and it's not about the materialistic things. People get it twisted. Mm-hmm. They think it's the materialistic things that get you your freedom. What gets you the freedom is the opportunity to make decisions and choices. Those that don't have choices can't make decisions because they can't get out of their own way. Right. So if I say to my wife, I want to go on vacation by the end of August, I have the choice. I can do that. Mm-hmm. Right. Because I put things in place for that vision to become a reality. Yeah. But I think the biggest hump, and I think your book definitely goes to that, is that in order for you to perceive that you want something better in life, you got to have a vision.
Right.
Yeah, got to have a vision.
Got to have a vision.
And it has to be the right vision.
Right. It does.
Because you can have bad vision.
Yeah.
It's got to be the right vision. But again, if you have people that are over and above, mm-hmm. you can submit that and say, hey, what do you think about this?
Okay.
And then if they say that's a bad vision, you should listen.
Yeah, gotcha. But and we talk about that a lot. Because we talked about all your motivational speakers of the world didn't just get there because...
That's right.
I'm looking at the phone. Oh, the phone's not up? No. Okay, so they didn't get there just because... Now some people can say they were ordained, they were inspired, but they were inspired because somebody in their life, human being,
right. Has to be.
Human being.
Has to be. You can't get away from that because they're a baby. Right. Somebody got to give them a bottle.
Somebody, yeah, that's right.
Somebody has to raise them up.
Somebody
it's just that
somebody got to feed them.
When we get grown, we forget and we don't want to listen to nobody.
That's true.
We think we have apprehended or arrived.
Yeah.
When if you always remember to have a multitude of counsel, at least 2 or 3 people that can tell you to shut up,
okay,
sit down, you're wrong, and you will listen.
Right.
It will prevent you from making as many bad decisions.
That's
you're going to make some, but as many.
Exactly.
Because every bad decision, like for instance, you're 18, you're 20, you're however old you are, and you buy a car.
Wow.
Good. Great. But you decide you're not going to pay the bill.
That's a problem.
Now the car gets repossessed. Yes. That just cost you 3 years.
That's right.
that one bad decision.
That's right.
It cost you 3 years.
That's right.
What did you say 3 years? What do you mean? Just for the listening audience.
Well, what I mean is if you buy a car and you have a car payment, you got to pay it.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So if you decide to make other things the priority and do not pay it, and you get a repossession,
that's right.
That's going to take you 3 years to recover your credit.
That's right.
Wow.
You see, so this is why it's important to have over and above other people that can give you advice on how to do things to prevent you from making all these mistakes.
Well, you have all this knowledge inside of you, man. I mean, like,
not as much as you.
No. Listen.
Definitely not.
He's got all this knowledge in it, right? And I'm like getting ready to tell him. See, I got a vision here. I got a vision here that maybe we should be booking some hotel somewhere, and we should be having him standing on stage and teaching people about financial wealth and how it works. Intellectual, monetary capital. How did you get your capital to work for yourself?
Well, I wrote a book called Wealth Building the Kingdom Way. That's not on Amazon, but I wrote a book. Well, my advice is really spiritual advice.
Okay.
As opposed to natural business advice.
Okay.
Which I have some information on.
Okay.
Some.
Okay.
Good.
Can somebody get that book, or is this not?
Well, 908-405-9844. That one's not on Amazon.
Is there an email? Can people hit you email or do you
No,
just
they
prefer-
would call
Okay.
908-405-9844.
Are you
Or
putting it in
or-
the-
contact they can send an email to admin@foclifecenter.org.
All right.
And then it'll be sent out.
Right. Now,
Admin, my phone number, 908-405-9844. Or my administrative office email is admin@foclifecenter.org.
anybody on Facebook? Anybody hitting us on any of our social
Yeah, I'm on
media?
Facebook too.
Again, I don't know if they're still watching, but we had Rhonda Gordon, Terry Benjamin,
What's up, Terry? Professor.
Joe Albita. Hello, hello.
Yeah, what's up?
And if there's someone else that's watching that I can't see, thank you so much for tuning in to the
Yeah.
4 East podcast.
Yeah, and listen, we have Keith Powell on our channel, and we're basically making sure that he's bringing you information that is informative, inspiring, spiritual. He basically is. You gotta want to know that the things that he's dropping through his words today can help you grow,
Right.
and that's what it's about. It can help you grow mentally, spiritually, financially, because if you build a good base, the base that I was talking about earlier, there's no other way that you can't have a strong foundation.
Right.
What happens with a lot of individuals is when you don't have a strong foundation, and whatever you do in life, you put sand there when you should put cement. More than likely, you're going to have a problem later on in life. So
Oh, yeah.
you got to have a good foundation,
Yeah.
and I think that the books that you talked about, the information that you brought forth, is really critical to individuals. And any Sunday they want to come out and worship with you, they have a perfect opportunity to come to the church. You want to give them the address for that? Is that good?
Family of Christ Life Center, 270 Lincoln Boulevard in Middlesex. And we have a great teaching night on Tuesdays at 6. And our Sunday ministry is at 1 p.m. From about 1 p.m.
Okay.
to 3.
Yeah, and they do they get down.
That's because Brian Cox
No.
trained our sound team.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
All
Well,
right, trainer.
I was put in a position
Okay.
that you asked, and who am I to keep all of the knowledge that I
He
have?
trained us. He trained.
Okay.
And you gave me the opportunity to help you, help me, help you, and that's what it's all about. And I think that that's what life is about. That if you have a gift, and you can't take any of this stuff with you.
That's right.
So if you don't share it while you're on the earth, then when you get to heaven, if you get to heaven, or when you get to heaven, let's say,
No, if.
I said when, if, okay.
It is an if, right? If you accept the
Can
Lord
I finish
Jesus
my
Christ,
story?
you will be saved and you will go to heaven.
That's right.
If you don't,
Listen
you
to the
will
pastor.
still have eternal life, but it'll be elsewhere.
That's right. Absolutely.
Hell is a real place, by the way.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, okay. I agree. What can I say? But while you on this earth,
Yeah.
and you have been given gifts from a power, Jesus Christ, higher than yourself, you need to make sure that you pour into others. I think that's why so many individuals
give it, yeah.
that are in this world want to do something while they're in the world. But that doesn't get you paradise. That by
No.
your deeds
Works
and
don't.
his actions don't
Right,
necessarily
right,
equate to heaven. You have to actually do the work of worshiping and following and believing. But I'm just glad that we
Your
have
belief will
opportunity.
get you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us, how did you get started in the things that you do as far as the? You said that you help people refinance mortgages. You are a pastor
I am.
of a church. So
I
how did
am.
you get started with everything that you do?
I think they're even more important. How did he get into the? How did he get into the word? What happened?
Okay.
What drew him to that? Who was his mentor? Who was his above person? There
Right.
you go. Who was his two above? There you go.
Well,
if you don't mind me jumping in, Lady Shereen, on your question,
Don't mind
and maybe
me.
you can mix those two answers together.
Presently, Bishop Jenkins and Bishop Johnson.
Okay.
Presently. Plus, I have great friends.
Okay.
Bishop David Lucky, Bishop Salter, Dr. Randall Lassiter. I'm surrounded
Okay.
with great friends.
Awesome.
But I was in the world.
Okay.
Good. I didn't grow up in the church. Like a lot of people grew up in the church.
Right.
I didn't grow up in church. If I was anything, I was more of a fake Muslim than anything.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. You understand?
Alaikum
Being
salam.
fine, what do you want?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
And then I was getting high. Right? Good. Loved cocaine.
Okay.
That was my drug. But I didn't have any addictions. And then I was a white collar criminal.
Wow. Okay.
So I was the guy with the button down white shirt, suit, worked in corporate America, and we were cooking the books and embezzling money
Wow. Okay.
and then partying.
Wow.
And then one day we got in trouble, and I thank God I have no police record. I should have, but I don't.
Wow.
Praise
Okay.
God.
Listen to this now.
Got in
Listen to this.
trouble.
Right. Right.
And the guy that I was hanging out with, we got jumped, and then he went and reached in his trunk for a gun.
Wow.
And now, I used to commit crimes, but I never wanted to go to jail.
Right. Right.
But what happened at that point is the light bulb went off like, what? If he would have found this gun,
Exactly.
you would be going to jail.
Wow.
And then I remember I called my mother. I was 30 years old, and I told her come get me. I hadn't talked to her in a couple of years. I was just out there.
Okay.
And then she said, "You can stay here, but you got to go to church."
There you
No
go.
problem.
There you go.
And what happened? 6 months later, I got saved.
Okay.
I moved back out, and that was really just the beginning. And then God sent me some great people
Okay.
that really just took me by the hand and worked with me, and I got my mind back, at least most of it.
Okay.
Still go to the left every now and again.
Uh-oh.
But that's pretty much the way that happened. It was really through these people that God sent that I accepted, and I submitted to them.
Okay.
And I was so grateful because I was such at a low place.
Wow.
And then I didn't know anything about church.
Okay.
And I'm glad, because like when I look at Christians today that grew up in the church, many of them have a lot of problems with forgiveness
Right.
and judgment and accusation and condemnation. You know, when I got saved, I didn't have any religious baggage. you see.
Okay.
So it was really just through God and the people that He sent that helped me, and many of them are still helping me to this day.
So that was like 7 years ago, right? Because you're only like 37 now.
Somewhere around.
Hey, lucky 7. I don't know, maybe 7 times 21.
Somewhere around
7 times 3, maybe 21. But you know, that's
Somewhere around there.
Listen,
Well, that's a great story.
well, it's not only a great story; it's a book. But
It is a
outside
book.
of the book, and outside of being a great story, it's a testimonial.
Exactly.
It's a testimonial, and that testimonial can't be replaced by just talking.
Right.
He had to live it. He had to
Yeah.
go through it.
Exactly.
And go back to the beginning of my conversation earlier in the evening. Is I could have came to him at 25 years of age, and I might have been sent by God.
Right.
He would not have hurt me.
No way.
Okay.
No way.
You know why he wouldn't have hurt me?
Why
Because he
you-
was in the world. He was doing his thing.
I was rebellious. I wouldn't even listen to my mother. let
Wow,
alone
get out of here. You couldn't
What?
listen to your mother.
No. I was a very rebellious child.
Wow.
I can't even believe that.
My daddy used to whoop me. That was
Wow.
back in the day.
He was military?
See, these kids don't know nothing about.
He was
whooping.
military?
He was military.
So I mean, he was a father that would tell you to go outside, get the switch. Hold on, youngins. Get the switch.
Take the leaves
Make
off.
sure take all the leaves off of it. Take all the leaves off of it. And if you come in the house without the leaves off, I'm gonna send you out there for a bigger one.
I got one
Take
better
the
because that would have been too
That-
easy.
that-
My father beat us with the army belt with the buckle
Ooh.
and the tip.
Okay. Okay.
And there was only 2 reasons he would beat us. If you lie or if you get on mama's nerve.
Okay.
And I used to get on mama's nerve.
That's a shame.
And I used to lie.
That's
The youngins are saying they got to comment back
That's
there.
a
They got to comment back there. What y'all say about how y'all mamas? No, well, listen, y'all young enough and y'all in the age, so don't say too much. But y'all used to get whippings.
No way.
Y'all used to get
No
whippings.
way. No way.
Yes.
No way.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no.
A whooping with you was
They don't know what
a whooping with
Everybody got a spanking.
No. A Hot Wheel track. A Hot Wheel track. You know, hit them with a Hot Wheel track. It's rubber. It doesn't hurt.
Hot Wheel
It's not- A broomstick. Get out of here. Well, I remember, if you want to tell a story, I remember the day that I went and my dear friend, to this day, dear friend, we don't communicate as much as we should, but that's life. But I went and I had a fight with him, and I lost the fight with him. So I decided that I was going to go beat up his younger brother. So I went and beat up his younger brother.
that's
My
terrible.
father found out that I went over there and
that's
beat up the younger brother, and he said, go outside and take down your... And I'm like, what are you going to do? And it was a stick. It must have been this big.
That big.
It was that big.
That's
So,
a shame.
as a child, you know, everything's that big. I mean, it was probably only
Right.
that big.
Right. Right.
And I remember that bark came off that branch and landed on the ground. I don't know what caused him to do that to me, but I said, I'll never do that again. So, I mean, and today, the reality is that spare the child, spare the rod, spoil the child. The reality is that
You got that right.
the reality, hey, listen, I get something for I get something for. But the reality is that today it's a different world. You know, you do that to a child today, you might end up doing some time. And that child might be
Yeah,
spending
different
some
world right now.
different world.
Yeah.
You know,
Kids call cops on their parents. They got Dyfus number right in their phone.
Yeah, that's true.
no, they don't. They threaten you. If you beat me, I'm gonna call your social worker.
Now, I know the kids that do call.
That do call. Get out of here.
Do.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Go ahead, Brian. Go get
No, they do. Ain't no.
Oh, you know why he knows that? Because then he gets the phone calls, the pastor, and he's got to go down there and explain, this is a good church-going woman. This child just had to be exercised.
I might do that. I might do that. And I got to because some parents are not good parents.
Right. Okay.
So if they're not a good parent, I don't do that. Some parents are abusive.
Yeah, someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, my father and my mother were two disciplinarians.
Well, they wouldn't live in today's society.
No, they be locked up. But I'd be
You'd have been raised by some other family.
Look, I'd be too afraid to call Dyfus because my what?
Right.
My father be like, hey, here's the phone. Go ahead,
Right.
You be like, you ain't gonna live to see him get it. What? No, man, my father was gangster. You kidding me?
Wow. So, with all that being stated, today, when I look at you as an individual that has somewhat arrived, and arrived. All right, meaning that you can and you do pour a lot into individuals' lives that may not know that the key is put right around the corner.
Right.
What do you attribute that to? I mean, is it just
Well,
life?
I'm gonna give you one word. Remember.
Okay.
That's my word. I remember where God brought me from
Okay.
every day.
Yeah.
You see, so this way I can help other people
That's right.
because here's the truth: we're all the same.
That's right.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, we are. Because from a human standpoint,
Okay. I see some green people walking down the street.
God only lives up there. So we're all the same.
Right.
I got you. I just had to throw that in there. Yeah.
If we can get judgment out of us,
Wow.
then we can bring healing. Because you
Right.
can't heal what you are presently judging.
Right.
And this is a great era in the church today.
Say that again. I don't think they heard it
You
up.
cannot heal what you're judging.
That's right.
It's a great era in the church today. So that means that if I know a girl or a guy that's doing drugs and getting high, and I judge them, I can't heal them.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
What I have to do is, we're all the same. Our proclivities may be different.
Okay.
Does that make sense? But we all sin and fall short of the glory of God.
You know that.
Oh, everybody.
That's right.
I'm talking about the bishop, the apostle, the prophet, everybody's the same. So if I'm looking at your behavior and then I use that behavior, watch this, to not associate with you,
Gotcha.
am I really a Christian?
Right.
When Christ died, he said, while we were sinning, am I? That I can't look beyond your sin
That's right.
because I don't realize you're the same as me. So I remember. That's how come I share those testimonies. I mean,
Right.
God has brought me a long way. Most people be like, you really? Yeah. You see. But everybody has their own testimony.
That's right.
Some people never did drugs. Never. They weren't into fornication.
Right.
But they're angry as all get out. They're judgmental as all get out. They're condemning as all get out. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But they don't look at that as sin. So I just remember, Brian, that. I remember.
Right.
So when I remember, hey, I don't judge a sinner
That's right.
because I'm just a sinner saved by grace.
And you could have been on the other side if it's not for his glory.
If it wasn't, listen, my mother prayed. My mother made me go to church at 30. I didn't want to go,
Wow. Well, good
but
thing
that was a condition. And
Absolutely.
6 months later, my life was turned around.
Awesome. That is so awesome.
Where was that upbringing, if you don't mind me asking?
I grew up in Atlantic City, but
Atlantic City.
that's where I was born and raised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that where you actually found?
No. I was born and raised. My parents divorced, and then my mother moved to Piscataway.
Piscataway.
Yeah, went to
Okay.
Piscataway High School. And
Wow.
but at 30, I returned back to New Jersey, and then I ended up giving my life to God. I didn't know I was.
Okay.
I,
He snuck up
listen,
on you.
Listen, I got saved at First Baptist Church, Lincoln Gardens in Somerset.
Okay.
Okay.
And I used to come from the Jamaican club right about 4 o'clock in the morning, fall asleep on the couch, wake up at 8 o'clock because we had to go to 8 o'clock service,
Wow.
and sit all the way in the back
Okay. And he caught you in the
and laugh.
So you wasn't hearing nothing.
No, it was funny because I used to watch people. I didn't even know what speaking in tongues was.
Right.
They speaking in tongues. I used to be always basically cracking up. One day,
Say it again. One day.
the spirit hit me. I'm walking down the aisle. They made a altar call. The preacher preached the sermon.
Did they part the Red Sea for you? They just
Listen,
like,
no,
here
they
he
didn't.
comes.
Didn't. The preacher preached a message called "There's one thing that God can't do,"
What's that?
and for the
Listen.
first time, I started paying attention. I'm like,
Okay.
"That's something that God can't do."
Okay.
And then at the end, he said, "Fail." Then he made an altar call, and
Okay.
I don't even know. I'm walking down the aisle. I'm crying. The next thing I know, they taking me in the basement of the
Oh, wow.
church, and them sanctified women, boy, they casting devils out. And I didn't know what was going on there.
Right.
But when I look back on it, I was like, they worked on me like a surgeon. Yeah, and then God delivered me all at the same time.
Okay.
So, but it's good.
That's great.
Well,
That's
listen,
a great
man.
testimony.
But I just remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
remember.
That's really a powerful word. I never heard it put like that. That you really have to remember in order for you to gain consciousness of what others are going through.
I remember.
No, it's true.
And so, when you're looking at people that are hurting or that need God in their life, if I'm judging their sin, I can't heal them.
That's right.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Because you can't heal what you're judging. See, so if I'm looking at your behavior, and then when I leave you, I talk to my homies, I talk to this, oh man, he's still messed up.
Right.
Lord have mercy.
You
You
ain't
know
helping.
that boy still getting high, that girl still running around the street. Guess what? You can't heal him.
Right.
But maybe that's when you put that person, that number two, and the two people above him, try to connect it, make the connection.
Right.
You can't put him in there. It's got to almost be like a natural.
Well, people resist it because of the judgment in the other people that are trying to control them.
Okay.
As opposed to really taking a position of love, that it's just like when we were talking the other day, you were talking about, how you felt, God had put it in your heart, to be in relationship with certain people. Right? Mm-hmm. And what did you do? You're not judging them based on their behavior.
Right.
Because if you did, you wouldn't be around them.
That's true.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Yeah.
You
You have to love them. You have to.
But that's what love is.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's how come I said, well,
Exactly.
who's really going to heaven?
Right.
Because love covers a multitude of sins.
Right.
Yes.
So if you have sinned and I really have the love of God, then my love is going to cover your sins.
That's right.
Right? I'm not saying I'm going to accept it and put up with everything, but I'm not going to not be in relationship
Right.
with
the
you
person, right.
because of it.
Well, the old parable that says, whoever has not sinned.
Here we go.
There you go. Hey, listen, I'm trying to get it right.
No, you got it. You got
A
it.
lot of people had stones in their hands, and they were ready to throw them. There was a lot of drop stones.
preaching.
There was a lot of drop stones. That's all I'm saying. So the bottom line is that.
That's a good topic. A lot of
Drop stones.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Listen, you can use it. You can put it in your
Alright,
next talk.
message.
Listen, I got 1,000 of them in me.
Message.
Listen, the bottom line is this. At the 4E podcast, we try to bring you enlightenment. We try to bring you empowerment. You have definitely brought a lot of that to our listening audience today, whoever's out there listening. And the reality is that all we want through our podcast, Lady Shereen, tell me if I'm wrong, is to get messages out there that you can do better.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have definitely brought all of the funk and all of the glory in reference to what we're trying to convey to our listening audience. We definitely got to do a few commercial things real quick. We are the 4E podcast. We have a Cash App. So if you want to Cash App us, and let me see if I can get it right, Donnie, help me out. $, capital T, E, capital lowercase, $, start again, $, capital T, H, smaller case, E, smaller case. The rest is a smaller case. 4, not the word 4, but the number 4. E podcast. Send us some love. We've been doing this for over 20 weeks, 30 weeks, and we have not asked for a dime. But now we're going to get to a point where we're going to start pouring into you to pour into us so that we can continue to bring you highly powerful
That's why
messages.
you didn't get anything. You're in violation
I'm in violation.
of a faith principle.
What's the faith
Ask,
principle?
And you shall receive.
All right, so we're asking, and we need you to be blessing and make that phone call. But in addition to that, you can go up if you want to come on our 4E podcast. Lady Shereen, you want to tell them how they can get on and how they can log on and how they can put their requests up to come on and be seen by other people out there?
Sure. You can go to our website, which is 4epodcast.com. And there is up the top, I believe it's on the right side, you can hit the book and booking. And so you can, put in the date. We start at 5, so you can, put your information in. If you have a problem, just let us know. You can always inbox me if you have my email address. It is Shereen, M as in Mary, C as in Charlie, L as in Larry, K as in Kite, @gmail.com. Just leave me a message again, or you can inbox me, or wherever threads you see me at, just put a message there. I'll definitely get back to you. You can
hit them with that Shereen Pitt. Your Facebook
my
page.
Facebook is Shereen Pitt. Yes.
Yeah, definitely hit her with that and Purple Sky.
Yeah.
Come on, go ahead.
Brian always.
Listen, I'm
Brian,
fun.
no, I like to stay in a. No, but Purple Sky Productions, yes, I'm not sure if that's on Facebook, but Shereen Malika Photography is. You can hit me up on that page as well. You can inbox me that way. Websites, production studios are purplesky.com. You can reach me there if you want. And
Yeah, you could get me at Get BC Landscaping. you can get me there. You can hit me on that webpage. You can obviously hit me on my Facebook page. You can friend me. Listen, the bottom line is that we're bringing this to you. We're doing this out of love and compassion. But there is going to come a time, and we are asking, so the time is now, that we actually put it out there. But in addition to that, you also can find us on 4 medias right now, right? Isn't it 4 medias or is it 3 medias? The Wix.
The Wix, which is the website I just said. For each podcast, we do have a page. I think it's a group page.
Okay.
We have to put more of that out. We actually need to, we're trying to migrate everything off of me. But right now we are on my page, which is Shereen Pitt. And we're on YouTube, Instagram, so you can go there, and everything is For You Podcast.
Yeah. So we loving what you brought to us. I think we're at the hour that we're getting ready to bring this episode to a close.
Yes.
So, Lady Shereen, before I let you close, because you always are the opener and the closer, Pastor, do you have anything else? Keith Powell, do you have anything else that you want to bring to our listening audience?
Well, first I want to thank you, Brian, and Shereen, and the entire staff of 4E Productions for having me. And I want to pray this prayer of faith for those that are watching. I'm praying prayers of salvation, blessing, and healing upon you. Reach out, get the help that you need, and God will be there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen. Amen. So there's a few people, let's give out some shout outs that I see that were, I don't know if you're still watching, but we had Lisa White, my son, hey Jamar. Joe, hey Joe. I know we called you out before. I don't know if you heard our shout out. But again, you know, if you're not watching now and you're going to catch the rewind of this, we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for your support, for everything that you're doing. And again, you know, if anything, just, you know, contact us, send us a comment, some
like us,
some shares, some tags. Everything like that, you know, we're trying our best, you know, to bring in some good people, you know, to tell us, you know, how they got started, the things that they're doing, you know, because we just want to encourage everybody. We just want to let you know that you can do it. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your life. Don't give up on anything, because even just like tonight, Pastor Howell, he said, you know, that he was doing some things that he know he shouldn't have been doing, but, you know, life is life. And, you know, sometimes we find ourselves, you know, in predicaments or situations or things, you know, that, again, like he said, we're rebellious. You know, we don't want to listen, so we go our own ways. But he told us today, you know, the things that he did, but God, he came and got him.
Amen.
He came and got him, you know, and turned his life around. And so, you know, that goes to show you that God can change anybody at any time. So again, we thank you for watching. It looks like Brian, you have something you want to say?
Lady Shereen, you said it all. The bottom line is the bottom line. We love you guys out there. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. Catch us next week. Next week, we're supposed to have Lee Fields on.
Lee Fields? Okay.
Yeah, the musician right out of the city of Plainfield. Well, he's not from Plainfield, but he actually has sung all over the world. And then following that, we're supposed to have a breast cancer survivor that's coming on. And then I think we got a couple other individuals that are DJs or whatever else that are coming on. So we got a full slot. You know, it's just a matter of us trying to find time to go on vacation, because we got to regenerate our souls. You know, we got to regenerate our power.
Got to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. We went over a little bit tonight. You know, we said we was going to cut it short because we're tired. But, you know, we figured, listen, we're rolling. It's good. So let's keep it rolling. So I also see my aunt. She popped on. Hey, Aunt Mary, how are you? So again, you know, thank you for watching, and this is it for the episode on tonight, and we thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Coming down the road to come and be on and, you know, share with us what you had to give us on tonight. So thank you again. Tune in next week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.